Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Like I say, coffee on, coffee strong. I knew when I started the channel, I'd get some haters and some comments here and there, but the more haters I get, the more successful I'm going to be with the channel. And I say that to say this. Until you put a badge on and that gun and swear to that oath, don't tell me I need to shut up or don't tell me this and that and the other, because I'm going to block you. Until you work the job and have to make those split second decisions, I don't want to hear drama, you know? I don't want to hear it because I've been through those situations. I've had to do it, okay? There's no way around it but to tell you, yeah, I've been through those situations. Split second decisions. But when you're out there working the streets, doing this law enforcement thing, you don't know where the threat's at. You don't know who's carrying. You don't know what you're stopping. When you go to these domestics, you don't know the danger. And then when you find out something's getting ready to happen, you got to make that split second decision. It's not always a good one. You're not the most favorite people in the world, okay? So I know how it works with the law enforcement function. 30 years of it. I know, okay? There was a recent, some of my buddies that worked, Lumberton PD, and there was a bank robbery taking place. I was just down the road at the courthouse. Two of the suspects got in a vehicle and took off. One took off on foot. They get in a high-speed chase with the vehicle, and suspects produced the automatic type weapon. I don't know what weapon it was. Automatic, but and one of my buddies was the one chasing him, and they ate that patrol car up, all on the hood, and shot the windshield out and all of that. And they ended up taking them out. So so many situations you get into, and you got to look at all the elements. You have to look at everything. I mean, every shot that you fire, you got to write that down. You got to document. When the SBI comes in and to do their investigation, they're taking account of everything. They take your weapon away from you, send it to the state lab. All these things that you have to go through as an officer that the public don't see, even though you're in the right. That's the formula that they use. And there's a lot of danger out there, especially if you're in a crowded situation. You have to think about the people walking around. If you have to draw that weapon, you don't want to just shoot into a crowd and innocent bystanders. That's something you got to look at. You just don't draw and just start firing, That's why you see all these innocent victims on the street with these thugs coming by, driving by, shooting and just unloading. They don't care who they shoot, except for the ones that's their original target, and they don't care who they shoot to get to that person. So it's a tough situation, this recent eye shooting that happened. You have to look at everything, and then you have to kind of understand that the news media, they're going to put out there mostly what they want you to see. They ain't going to show everything. There's two sides to everything. But A lot of times they're going to show the side that's bad, and to try to tell you how to think. That's the reason they do that. They're not going to show the other side. Okay? They're just going to show you what they want you to see. And then later on, you find out the bigger picture. And a lot of times it's too late by then because the court of public opinion's already spoke up. And that ain't worth a hill of beans. But the use of force, man, is it's a tough subject. I've seen it in the court system, man, just span for a week, going over everything. And you could be investigated by your internal affairs and found clear of everything. But then, you got the family suing you for wrongful death, and a lot of times they win on that. So it's crucial when you have to dispatch deadly force. And they always tell you hands, pepper spray, taser, then firearms. See, there's steps you got to take in the use of force platform. Those are supposed to be steps you take according to what you're facing. If you're facing a deadly weapon, yeah, go ahead and dispatch your firearm or whatever need be. You don't have to go through the steps. But any other time you're going through that level. But yeah, I know people don't like law enforcement too much. It don't matter. So I knew starting the channel, I would get some flack. But the more flack I get, the more successful that's what people don't understand. It seems like causing drama makes more success for a channel. I can care less about it either way. I just like to share my stories of police work and when you have to dispatch deadly force and the time it takes to make that split decision. I remember an occasion where there was a call that came in. I was working in a small town then, and it was a domestic that was taking place, and the man was fussing and fighting with his wife or something, and he ran outside and got in the car and took off. And my partner was coming up on it and seen the car taking off, so he tries to initiate the vehicle stop, and it turns into a pursuit. Goes into the adjacent county, which was Hope County. And once they crossed the county line, I guess the suspect was driving bogged down or breaking down, and I don't know if it run hot or whatever it did, but it shut off, and he pulled catty corner like in the middle of the road, the driver did, and the driver jumped out and had a nail gun. As my partner was getting out of the car, he pointed that nail gun at him. And in that nail gun, we looked at it and compared it. It looked like a Tech 9 when you compared the two at that time. And officer drew and fired, hit him one time in the neck and one time in the chest. See, a nail gun will kill you just as quick as a firearm will. It's a matter of how you look at it. But it's the judgment time. You got that split-second decision to make. You see that weapon, you think it's, like I say, it was a nail gun, but it looked like a Tech 9. And he dropped him. So, and he was justified. The SBI came, cleared him. So, and I came up behind him when all this melee was going on, when he had to draw and fire. So, So many situations. I mean, just so many. One situation, the guy was in a vehicle waving a handgun, and the officers went up there to try to. It ended up to be a BB gun, but he was still waiting around, and they didn't notice, and they were trying to negotiate with him the whole time. Ended up having to take him out. So just don't know. It's tough when you have to do that. So, and it happens just in a split second. It can go from 0 to 100 just like that. So it's on that officer, man. When decisions had to be made, it's just the way it is. You have to learn to deal with it, and that's another thing you have to learn. So, but guys, hey, give me a thumbs up if you like what you see and hear, man. I'll come out with some more law enforcement stories, and the good ones, the bad ones, the whole nine. So, all right, man. Y'all have a good one.